Alright, it's that time of year again where the holidays are just around the corner, the seasons are changing and the leaves are beginning to fall, and Nintendo has just released a new Nintendo Direct for the fans in September. Well, it was a few days ago, but yeah, I'm a little late to it. I mean, when am I ever on time though, right?
Really, nigga?
For a good while now, there has been a few questions of just what Nintendo has had in store for the Switch 2 for the holidays, since we've only really known about a few games like Metroid, Pokemon, and of course Kirby Air Riders, which is the big one for me. But now it seems like things are starting to take shape for what we can expect. And as always, I'm a little late to the game, as I said before, on covering the Direct, but here I am now. So let's not waste any more time and talk a little about this Direct and give my honest opinions about it. What's up guys, Tactics here with another video for you. Let's not waste any more time and dive right in. Now, this Direct was a whole ass hour, so for the sake of time, I'm only going to cover the highlights. So if you haven't seen the full Direct by now, then I recommend go checking out the official trailer from Nintendo for yourself. And also, I am not really following a script with this video, this is just my initial thoughts and just going for a more casual video for today. So anyway, with all that out of the way, let's start off with the Mario movie. Now I'm gonna be honest with you, I didn't even know that this was the 40th anniversary for Mario. Like, this was a huge surprise to me. So seeing that, I was like, oh okay, like I just don't play a lot of Mario games like that these days. Like, I've kind of found myself sort of phasing out of Mario since like I was maybe 18 years old or whatever. So I don't really keep up with Mario stuff like I used to. But I do think that this was very cool that they're actually basing a movie around Mario Galaxy and the lore behind it. That does sound actually pretty amazing, I ain't gonna lie. Like, even I thought that was a cool idea. And that's mainly just because I believe that Mario Galaxy 1 and 2 was probably like peak Mario back in the day. Like, I know people praise Mario Odyssey, but like I said, that was around the time when I really started to phase out of Mario games and stuff like that. So I don't really know how I really feel about Odyssey. I just think that the Galaxy games are probably the best Mario will ever get. So basing a movie around it was, in my opinion, is a pretty fantastic idea on Nintendo's part for sure. And then they talked about the actors for the movie and the different characters, and we see a bunch of familiar faces from the previous Mario movie, which I think is a pretty solid idea to bring back a lot of the guys. Chris Pratt being the lead role for Mario again, it makes sense. I think he did a pretty decent job, I suppose, for the most part for the first movie, so seeing him here is no real shocker to me. And then you also got the bearded guy who played Bowser. I think he did a absolute fantastic job playing as Bowser. Again, I didn't really watch the Mario movie, I've seen clips of it, but once again, I just think he played a fantastic Bowser, and seeing him return is probably a solid choice. Now, they talked a lot about Mario since this is Mario's 40th anniversary. I think the first 20 minutes was all about Mario and stuff like that. So they basically talked about the Mario Galaxy games also making a return on the Switch 2 and all that. And I just feel like they're definitely gonna charge these games for like probably like 70-80 bucks. I wouldn't be too surprised. This is Nintendo we're talking about here. So I don't know really how I feel about that. I doubt I'll pick these games up. It's great that they are bringing them back, but I mean, bro, 70-80 bucks for like decade old game is like insane. But again, this is Nintendo we're talking about, so it wouldn't surprise me. But once again, it's really great to see that Mario Galaxy is making a return here, especially Mario Galaxy 2, because I know a lot of people was just begging for Galaxy 2 to make a return since that was like their favorite, I believe. You know, I believe that a while back on the Switch 1, they did have like a trifecta of Mario games on one disc, which was like 64, Sunshine, and I believe Galaxy 1. And people were just asking Nintendo like, well, where's Galaxy 2, Nintendo? Well, here you go, you know, it's here now. Then they talked about the next game, which I really was not expecting to see something like this come out so soon. Like, it just felt like it was just yesterday that we got a Mario Tennis game. Like, and now here we are here with Mario Tennis Fever, I believe, which also is supposed to drop sometime in February. I think it's February the 16th of next year. But like, I really do feel like it wasn't that long ago that we got Mario Tennis again. I don't even remember what it was called, but yeah, it just felt like it wasn't that long ago. It does look like it has some pretty fun mechanics with the whole fever rackets and the different kinds that you can use to kind of mix things up and, you know, mess up your opponent or whatever. And then they also have a story mode, I believe. Yeah, so that's also kind of cool, where the Mario in the game turns into like babies or whatever, and now they gotta learn how to play tennis all over again. So that seems pretty cool. But I mean, I haven't played a Mario sports game since literally I think it was the first Mario Tennis on, I think, the 64 or a game. I don't remember which one it was, but it was a long time ago. But yeah, I don't really have a whole lot to really say about Mario Tennis Fever. I mean, it's another Mario tennis game. I mean, some people out there are probably excited for it, right? Now, moving on, we got the game Mario Wonder, I think, getting a Switch 2 edition with some new content added to it as well, which is, I think, Bell Park or whatever, which, again, looks pretty cool. I didn't pick up Mario Wonder because, again, I just don't mess with Mario like that these days, but hey, you know, more content for that game. Next, we got another oddball in the mix, being a new Yoshi game being called Yoshi and the Mysterious Book. I feel like that's a huge missed opportunity to just call this game Yoshi's Story, since it's all about diving into a book and Yoshi being basically the main character in it, I guess. But yeah, Yoshi has a new game, and I don't know, I always enjoy the art style that they give a lot of the Yoshi games. Like, it looks a little kind of funky, but I don't know, I like it. I always enjoy looking at Yoshi's, like, the art style they go for Yoshi. So this is a nice little touch here. It's a Yoshi game. I don't really have a whole lot to say about it, but it's another platformer for the Mario games. Now, moving away from Mario, finally we get into some of the more meat and potatoes of the Direct, which is, for the first one, we get a new trailer for Tomodachi Life Living the Dream. I know that there are some YouTubers out there that just really love Tomodachi Life, and they've been waiting for a new one. So once again, this is just going to be a huge game for a lot of those types of people that enjoy being able to just build your own character, build your own sort of like community, and just kind of sit back and watch how these little characters all interact with each other, and also just kind of, you know, come up with like day-to-day things for them to do. Like, it just seems like a really nice little fun community game that I could see a lot of people really putting some time into. In a sense, I guess you can say that the Tomodachi Life is kind of like taking that placeholder spot for, like, say, Animal Crossing, because I know a lot of people also really enjoy Animal Crossing in the same vein. So this is basically kind of just filling in that gap until that next Animal Crossing game for Switch 2 is, you know, ready to be shown off. So yeah. And now we know that the game is slated for early spring of next year thanks to the newscasters, so yeah, that's pretty cool. Then we get a look at the Hades 2 game, but that's not really important. What's important is Kirby Air Riders getting more content, and of course we got amiibos as well. I don't really try to collect amiibos, especially these days in this economy, absolutely not. But what is important is we're going to get more content, more gameplay of this game by Sakurai, hopefully. And if that does be the case, then of course I'm going to be very excited to tune into this and watch it and just see what else this game has in store for us. I've been hearing good things about it. I've been seeing good things about the game. And yeah, I mean, I said it in my previous video that Kirby Air Riders just might be the game that makes me want to buy a Switch 2. But, I mean, we'll have to wait and see on that one. Now, moving on, we get to see the next look of Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment. I mean, I don't really want to talk too much about this game yet because I've just kind of been waiting for the right opportunity to discuss this game and all of those trailers that have come out for it. So, I'm mostly just going to say it still looks pretty good. I am a fan of the Warriors games, and Zelda being in the Warriors, part of that sort of like branch of games, I'm most likely going to pick this up. There's just no way I can not pick this up. It's Zelda. And while we're already on the subject of Zelda, I might as well just go ahead and just plug in this little announcement here where I'm basically working on a massive project. I think I've talked about this in a few previous videos before, where I'm basically preparing for a huge Zelda month. November will be the month of Zelda for my channel, where I'm just going to talk about nothing but Zelda, and so I've been preparing a bunch of videos for that. I'm hoping I make the deadline in time. But yeah, we're going to be talking about this game around that time as well before it releases, which I believe will be on November 6th. So yeah, if you've never been to the channel, then none of this really matters. But if you are a returning viewer, then that's one of the reasons why there hasn't been a lot of uploads lately. I've just been working on a bunch of stuff, and these videos just happen to be part of that workload, I guess. So yeah, if you guys are interested and you want to stay tuned for that, for Zelda Month when it comes out, then be sure to like this video if you're enjoying it so far, and also subscribe to the channel for more content like this, and of course for more Zelda content as well. It would really make me a very happy man. Alright, let's get back to the video. Alright, next on the list we have Dragon Quest VII Reimagined, which I think was a very pleasant surprise to see. And well, I think I'll put it like this. It's not a Dragon Quest Builders 3, which is a game I've been waiting for a long time, but there is another game that Nintendo showed that kinda does resemble Dragon Quest Builders, but we'll get to that pretty soon here. But for now, I think, again, this was a pretty nice surprise. I don't really know how I feel about the art design and the art style. I don't know, something about the art design looks a little bit weird to me. I mean, just take a look at this character right here. I mean, old buddy's chin is longer than Nintendo's new patent law on Palworld. Like, this is insane. But I mean, hey, it's Dragon Quest, it's an RPG. I really can't complain all that much about it, so yeah, pretty cool. The next thing Nintendo talked about was the Virtual Boy little stand where you can play some of the old Virtual Boy games and all that kind of stuff with the Switch 2, like kind of hooking it in, kind of sliding it in there, and you kind of just use Nintendo as like a base for it. It looks really cool. I can't really say, I feel like I'm being very redundant when I say that, but it really does look very fascinating. But at the same time, I just know that Nintendo is going to charge fucking like a liver and a lung for this console. So it's like, it's nice, but I know it's gonna be like $100+ for this thing. Like, let's be real. A new Fatal Frame game as well, but I mean, I don't really play horror games like that, so, but hey, that's pretty cool. Then we also got Power Wash 2. Like, man, I think I actually made a joke about Power Wash the last time Nintendo had a direct and they mentioned Power Wash. And I was like, who the hell's gonna play Power Wash? Who thought this was a good idea? And wow, I mean, I guess some people are out there playing it, because like there's a second one now. Like, I can't say anything now. Just shut the hell up about it. Power Wash 2, guys, you know. And then of course we get to see more of Metroid Prime 4 Beyond, where now we're getting to see Samus in a damn motorcycle, and she's driving through a huge open area in the desert, and she's just running around and shooting things and killing robot Hot Wheels. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. The more I look at this game, the more they show this game off, I'm like, I'm not even a Metroid fan, but damn it, I might have to get this for real. Like, I'm not gonna lie, like, I really might have to pick this up. Like, this is kind of looking fire, bruh. So yeah, I mean, more Metroid Prime 4 footage. I mean, it looks great, I'm not gonna lie. I don't know, like, this trailer just kind of made it give off that sort of Halo vibes, and believe it or not, I used to love Halo back in the day. Halo 2 still one of my favorite like FPS games back in the day, and it's just, you know, it's giving off that vibe really strongly, and it's, I don't know, I really might have to try this game out for real. Next we've got some DLC for Donkey Kong Bonanza, which again, it looks pretty solid. Again, because I haven't bought a Switch 2, haven't really played this game yet, but hey, Donkey Kong Bonanza now has some DLC, and again, it looks great. Now we get to something very interesting here, being Pokopia, one of the first of the two Pokemon games that they showcased. Well, we already kind of know what the other one is, but again, This one I find to be a little bit more interesting just because it seems like Nintendo and Game Freak is basically taking the route of kind of like a cozy game sort of vibe, where it's like you got this little Ditto, it transforms into a human, and then now it's like taking care of all these other Pokemon that it kind of finds in the wilderness, and they teach him new moves, and he just makes everything looks better and more beautiful in the environment, you know what I'm saying? And it's, again, it looks very, like, I'm not gonna lie, it looks pretty cool. It seems like something that I would actually try to play, and probably would sink a lot of time into it just because I am a fan of these types of games. And I think Pokemon taking on that sort of style is something that, you know, again, it's just something that I'm surprised that they haven't capitalized on sooner. My only question is that will there be like certain, like maybe some battling going on, maybe some RPG elements, or is it just going to be straight up like Animal Crossing or something, you know what I'm saying? So hopefully we'll get more information about that in the future, and I might talk about the game a little bit more separate as well in more detail later on in the month. Then we get more information about Pokemon ZA, or just another look of it, and then they introduce DLC to this game. Like, this is probably what blew my mind the most, is that this game isn't even out yet, bro, and these guys are already pushing out DLC for it. Like, why not just add it to the main game, bro? Like, they're really trying to hike this game up to be $100 plus price tag, bro. Like, Nintendo is like, bro, just yeah, whatever, let's move on, man. Next, we've got a game that I've still yet to really get into the series, being Monster Hunter Stories, and I think this is the third installment, and I unfortunately haven't yet still played the first and second one. I still intend to eventually, but I really just love what I'm looking at here. I like the idea of collecting monsters, having them fight other giant monsters. Like, it just sounds really cool. I just haven't really gotten around to being able to get the game and play them yet, but I promise I will very soon. In fact, I might just try to start with this one if I can. But again, I'm loving this game. It looks really cool. But yeah, Monster Hunter Stories 3, looking nice. Next, they showed off a new Resident Evil game, which I was very surprised to see here at a Nintendo Direct. But hey, I mean, they have a new Resident Evil. Again, I'm not really into the horror stuff like that, but still looks pretty good. Then we come to the highlight of the entire Direct, and I do believe this series is without a doubt worthy to be like the highlight. It's worthy enough to be, at this point, the closer or even an opening video game to show off in a Direct. We have Fire Emblem Fortune's Weave, which it looks fantastic, by the way. Just from the visuals alone, we can tell that they completely ditched the Fire Emblem Engage aesthetics, thank the Lord, because I did not want to see characters that just looked so goofy and over the top. The character designs for the most part so far look much more down to earth and just look way more just better in general, I'm not gonna lie. Not to mention that they're also taking sort of like an aesthetic and like a Three Houses approach, where it looks like a lot of the characters and this could potentially be like a prequel or some kind of like sequel to Three Houses, considering that at the end they actually showed us Sothis, or I guess in this case adult Sothis. Now I don't know how adult Sothis is gonna, you know, matter to the story, but of course she's gonna be pretty, you know, pivotal to it in some way. But I can't deny, like, this is exactly what I was hoping for a new Fire Emblem. Like, I know a lot of people have been really itching for a remake of like an old Fire Emblem, like Genealogy or Theracia or 776 or whatever, but like I said before, if they didn't do that, I'd be satisfied with anything. But I think I really did just want them to move on and just make a brand spanking new Fire Emblem, and I'm glad they did. But yeah, I'm not going to go into too much details about this game here, because I am definitely going to make a separate video where we're going to basically break down the entire trailer and talk about it there. So once again, guys, if you are interested in knowing how or what I'm going to be talking about, be sure to, you know, stay tuned and yeah, subscribe. I mean, but yeah, overall, I think the Direct was pretty solid. I can't necessarily say it was bad, nor can I say it was like super amazing or good by any means. I think it was just fairly decent, in fact. There was a lot of good things here, and then there were a lot of things where I was still just kind of like, well, that's cool, but it doesn't matter to me, you know? So I think there's something here for everyone to take away from the Direct and be happy about it to some degree. Alright, there you have it guys. If you enjoyed the video, like I said, be sure to like and subscribe for more content like this in the future. And also, if you enjoy me being more casual and like speaking like this without a script, be sure to let me know also I can maybe do more videos like this as well in the future. If not, I can just stick to the script. But either way, I appreciate you guys all the same, and with that, I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.